we've had so many cool things happen in the last few days, or actually last few weeks, that kind of make us think, okay, we are getting a lot of cool stuff, but what is next? What are we gonna get after that? And I thought it would be a cool idea to kind of list all of the confirmed features that we're gonna get in the future. And now these ones aren't gonna be like the boring ones, like, a new gauntlet, which is gonna be cool. I mean, a gauntlet would be cool, but not as cool as the features that I'm gonna be mentioning in this video. And most of them might come out in 2.3. And honestly, some of them are really, really helpful when it comes to the editor, and some of them will just, make the community more active and make people play the game more. So I would say, because my name is literally creator, we're gonna go to the editor and start with here. So as you guys know, when you want to build a level, you're gonna have a cool template to use, and you're gonna come up with a cool design and then follow my tutorial, of course, on this channel, and then you'll use a new template that you made. But you guys can already see that this system is very unfinished, because some of the buttons are literally like, they have been rushed and it just looks unfinished. And Robtop has actually said that the auto build UI stuff will almost get a complete rework. And what you guys might have also noticed, if you guys tried playing around with some of these guys, is that the slopes don't really have a template or anything like that. You cannot really see the template of the slopes. Although you can recreate it from Robtop's video, it is still very wacky. So having a system that actually works would be a massive plus. And another thing that Robtop has said is going to be added into the future for the editor is something that I am so excited for, and it's how we have these indicators, the number outside of the trigger telling you which group ID you have selected. In the area trigger, if you select 100 and 200 and 1000, you can't really see the number from outside, which is not that very cool. And this is actually the case with many triggers, and it would just be so helpful if we could have these outside numbers as helpers, so that we don't actually have to go into here if you were having to do something very quickly on a trigger or anything similar. And another thing is that custom keybinds might be added as well. Robtop has said that perhaps in 2.3 he's gonna add custom keybinds so that we can set the keybind that we want to have it to another one. And honestly, to be honest, I think I'm gonna stay with these guys because I think they are pretty cool, and I've also got used to them. So yeah, I don't really see myself changing those. Also, another thing that will happen in the future, this is like far future, is that the whole editor is gonna be changed. The whole UI of the editor is just gonna be completely new one. And Robtop has said that the UI is just way too big, he feels like, so changing that would be a massive W. It would be hard to get used to though, but I think once we get used to the new editor, it's gonna be a lot easier from there on. And also, you guys know how like some interfaces are like really big, like this one for example. So this one could literally be like half the size. So the slider would literally be from here to there, and the numbers with all of it would be very small, just like a game engine basically, just like Unity or something. And while we are in the editor, Robtop also said that he's gonna have to somehow group objects so that we don't take too much time searching for an object, because you guys know that 2.2 added a ton of new objects. And if you guys just so happen to be creators as well, I'm very sure that you had these times where you wanted to have a specific pixel art block, but you really just didn't know where it is, just scrolling through these 500 tabs trying to find the pixel block that you want, and eventually not finding it and just trying to recreate it yourself just to find it like 10 minutes after. So that could be done, that could be improved if Robtop added a ability for search, so we could search through the objects. And also regarding these guys, I feel like there are a lot of them, and you can see a pattern when you scroll. You see that all of these guys kind of belong to the same group style, and all of these guys resemble one single style, so they could be kind of grouped together so that we have a more compact list, and we can like choose which one of these we want, and we can like expand it or so. This way we don't have to scroll too much to find the one that we want, because usually when I scroll through here, I'm looking for one specific type. So for example, I want these guys and I'm all the way here. I'm gonna scroll to find these guys, to find like pretty much all of of them, which are on one tab. So basically the whole editor is just gonna feel so much better to work with. It's gonna feel like it's more professional, you can say. It's no longer a game, it's kind of going into the direction of a game engine, which I think that's gonna be pretty cool. And another thing that's gonna happen probably in the near future is that we're gonna get some insane amount of SFX, and this may not really sound like a lot, but it is. And if you guys didn't know, Geometry Dash now exists. There is a new folder that was added which basically has all of the Geometry Dash sound effects, and this includes the achievement, buy item, chest click, crystal, the end portal, explode, and all these guys, and you can find it under roots, interface, and Geometry Dash. Now this doesn't have all of the sound effects, but some of them, which I think is very important. And Robtop has actually said that there are going to be about 500,000 new sound effects, which is kind of crazy, because then we're no longer going to have any repetitions in levels. Because if I type in, for example, magic or something, and then I play a sound effect, you guys are going to realize that you have heard this quite in a lot of levels. So as a result, people that search magic are just going to use the top ones, just the ones that are being shown. And so as a result, there's going to be a lot of repetition. But if you have like 25 more sound effects than right now, then it's going to be much better. Also, another thing is how much time you have spent in the editor, and this is actually something that is very simple, and it actually is stored within your game files, but the game just doesn't show it for us for some reason. So that's not that very cool, but in the future that's actually going to be fixed. And now I would say we've had enough of the editor, so I'm just going to go ahead and exit out to show you guys more stuff. So outside of the editor, we have the platformer mode, which Robtop has said he's going to add the wave into platformer mode, which is that's going to be a very interesting one as well. He said that the swing copter isn't really going to work because it's just too wacky for platformer mode, because you're constantly switching gravity and you're kind of flying, so it doesn't really make that much sense. But wave could have some really cool ideas, to be honest. And while you make a platformer wave level, you can also export it and send it to your friends. This is something that's going to happen in the future. This is an idea that Robtop had, to have the ability to export levels as files and send them to your friends. And another few features of the more known ones are, of course, the custom art that's going to come with 2.3, which is basically going to allow you to import images into Geometry Dash, but the levels that upload those are going to have to be reviewed by moderators. And to be honest, having all of this one revamped or improved would be very cool, because sometimes I just like to search for levels that were made in a specific update, and we know that should be possible to add because Robtop stores in which update each level was made and updated. Or actually, I think only updated or made. Yeah. But either way, this whole settings menu is probably going to be renewed, and it's going to feel a lot more fresh, so that you can search for that one specific level or specific level type that you are searching for, which would of course be very nice. Another thing that I'm not too sure about, but we might actually get new quests, because I feel like the current ones are kind of getting repetitive after like 7 years. They're kind of boring too, so maybe have some more interesting ones like beat an insane demon. This way the game basically forces you to beat one of the latest insane demons, basically check out more levels. It's pretty cool, because some people just play demons, for example, to get these stats because it's the easiest way. I mean, if somebody has enough skill to do that, but having like a beat a normal level to kind of go in here and beat one of the easier ones would be pretty cool. Or there are so many countless ideas that you could do with the quests thingy. So I guess that is it for this video. Let me know which feature you guys liked the most out of this whole video, and which one you are excited for the most. I personally was excited for every single thing that was in the editor. Like the editor, I spent a lot of time in the editor, so that's gonna be very cool, and I will see you guys in the next